testing. Hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to begin the formal proceedings. In the meanwhile, we have Chief Signal and Telecom Engineer Mohammed Ahmed Saab with us. Please welcome him with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And shortly you will see CEO NetSol Private Limited, Mr. Salim Ghori with us. So ladies and gentlemen, here we have Mr. Salim Ghori with us. A huge round of applause for him. I would request all of you to please stand up and welcome Mr. Salim Ghori, ladies and gentlemen. A huge round of applause. We have Chairman PHEC, Professor Dr. Shahid Munir is with us. A very warm welcome, sir. If you could please come up on the stage, sir. And Mr. Salim Ghori, ladies and gentlemen. A huge round of applause for him. We have Director KICS, Professor Dr. Waqar Mahmood with us. Next, I would request Chief Signal and Telecom Engineer Mohammed Ahmed from Pakistan Railways to please join us on stage. उसी के नाम से करते हैं इब्तदाई सुखन की जो सबकी सुनता है और सब कुछ सुनता है सभी तारीफ़ें उसी खालिक के ज़ौजल के लिए सुकूत झील को देता है जो कवल के लिए. I would request Mr. Muhammad Usman to please come at the podium and recite few verses from the Holy Quran. I would request Mr. Tariq Malik, CTO Punjab Safe City Authority, to please come up on the stage, sir. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد أن يطعمون إن الله هو الرزاق ذو القوة المتين فإن للذين ظلموا ذنوبا مثل ذنوب أصحابهم فلا يستعجلون فويل للذين كفروا من يومهم الذي يوعدون صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, rise for national anthem. पाकिस्तान के सारे शहरों जिंदा रहो पाइंदा रहो रोशनी और रंगों की लहरों जिंदा रहो पाइंदा रहो. Honorable Chief Guest, all the distinguished guests, dignitaries, participants, on behalf of KICS, I warmly welcome you all to 16th International Conference on Open Source Systems and Technologies, ICOST 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, ICOST is a flagship event of KICS that happens every year. Unlike last couple of years where amid pandemic we have to go virtual, this year we are all gathered here. So ladies and gentlemen, we are all geared up. ICOST is one of the finest conferences organized in Pakistan, having IEEE technical sponsorship, resulting in accepted papers, publication, and IEEE Explore. The conference will have a number of technical sessions, including industrial exhibition, industry roundtable, and projects demos headed by IT industry leaders and international delegates. So ladies and gentlemen, let's quickly have a look at the last year's ICOST that happened virtually. So ladies and gentlemen, this was 15th ICOST 2021. We have almost similar modules, but with more energy and more excitement. With this, I would humbly request Honorable Director KICS, Professor Dr. Waqar Mahmood, to please come at the podium for the welcome note. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Waqar.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Very honorable guests, Dr. Shahid Munir Sahab, Chairman of Punjab Higher Education Commission, Salim Wari Sahab, CEO, NetSol. We have representative from Safe City Authority, Pakistan Railways, Huawei Industries, researchers, fellow students and professors. Assalamu alaikum, a very good morning. I'd like to warmly welcome you for this conference. This is 16th in this series, and we are very glad that we have dignitaries here available with us, industry, academia, public sector, they're all present at this time. We have been conducting this conference for the last 15 years, and it is now a flagship conference for the Institute, and definitely this is one of the best conferences of Pakistan. Since we have guests here who probably are not much familiar with the Institute itself, the university, and also the kind of work that we do, so I will take 3-4 minutes to quickly go through some of the activities that we conduct here for the sake of our guests. And then we'll move on for the talks that we'd like to hear from our distinguished speakers. Well, Farzmi Institute was constituted in 2002, and since then it has been growing. We are now about 200 plus researchers. Overall, we have been conducting research in various areas of ICT. We are now the largest ICT research center in the country. We have been awarded by the OIC, which is the Islamic organization, through the Islamic Development Bank, and HEC studies that we are the best ICT center in Pakistan. We were also awarded by British Council and Knowledge Platform Studies, where they declared Al-Farzmi Institute as the institute which is changing the paradigm of research in the country by solving the local problems instead of just focusing on research for research purposes only. So we have about 25 plus research labs which are now conducting research in various areas of ICTs, which is communications, AI, software development, and many kinds. We have accumulated more than 2.5 billion rupees of research funding over the past 10 years. We conduct large number of events every year, We conduct a lot of trainings. Salim Wari Sahab was just mentioning that this is a time to really convert so many other individuals. We hope by going through the ICD, the conversion in their careers through the training in ICD. So this is a program that we conduct here. We conduct ICD training for a large number of young students outside of UET, which are diploma holders or which are FSC or matriculate. We provide them skills so that they can become self-sufficient. Then we also conduct, we provide entrepreneurship activity, we provide incubation center services, about 100 plus companies that we have incubated over the past 7 years time frame. And this is just based on students, which are final year students and then the early graduates, those who have accumulated those many companies. So about 200 million worth of dollars was the worth of the top-notch company which was graduated from our incubation center, and about 0.75 million worth of US dollars they have earned. The incubation companies that we have started here. These are set of labs which are available in our institute. So you'll notice that communication technologies, AI in various applications, software systems, power systems, and industrial systems. So this fourth industrial revolution, specifically those areas, and Web 3.0, the metaverse technologies, these are focus areas of this conference, and we also have research labs in these areas. These are national centers, so we are proud to be a center within the country which hosts 5 national centers in this university. National Center for Cybersecurity, Cloud Computing, Big Data Analytics, National Center for Artificial Intelligence, and National Center for Robotics. And then we also have a National Center for Online Education. This is funded by UNESCO ICTI, which is International Center for Higher Education Innovation in Shenzhen University, USA, and in China. So we have a national center from there, which is organized here in Pakistan. These are our set of collaborators. So large collaborations, 50 plus international, 100 plus national industries, academic organizations, public organizations, and so on. So we have been trying to work with whichever international institute is interested in research areas of our interest. We are forging collaborations, and we are working with them in terms of funding, in terms of research projects, in terms of exchange, and so on. So coming to the conference, this conference, as I mentioned earlier, is the 16th in a series. Rehan also talked about it. So we have technical sessions which will take place in auditorium, main technical sessions, paper presentations, and also invited talks. Then we have student competition, Brainiac, where we ask students to go through various competitions. Then we have a recruitment drive for students going on through industry, which is present here. We have arranged workshops for students, and also we have industrial exhibition. And I'll request the guests to also go through the workshop, through the exhibition after we complete this presentation here today. The conference, since it is a 16th in a series, we accepted only 29% of the top-notch papers which were accepted. Then we have a technical program committee which consists of individuals which are from Pakistan and from Algeria, India, Malaysia, United States, UK, and so on. Those who have evaluated the papers. So only the top class, top-rated quality papers were accepted. Then with the program that I mentioned earlier, we have student competition, then exhibition, and industrial partners. Today and tomorrow we have sessions in the auditorium. Today's sessions will be in the computer vision and social computing area, then artificial intelligence and robotics and security. Tomorrow the sessions will be on cybersecurity and big data, emerging technologies and digital society, which is mostly on metaverse. Then the student competitions are on artificial intelligence. They have also idea competition, Internet of Things projects, and then logo and branding designs. We have arranged workshops for students, which is on robotics, deep learning, graphic designing, digital marketing, and presentation skills. There are a good number of companies which are presenting with us, and they're also going through recruitment with us. And then I would like to, of course, thank the organizers who have been working very diligently over the past 6-7 months to make this conference just a great success. We have Dr. Amir Mahmood, who is sitting here. He has been heading the program committee, the program which is organized today and tomorrow, all of that. Then we have Dr. Ghalib, who look after the technical committee, which reviewed the papers, submitted papers, and then got them reviewed, peer-reviewed. Then we have Kashif, who is taking care of the IEEE liaison and initial management. Then we have Akil, who is sitting here looking after the General Management Committee. Rehan, who is hosting it as well, is our media person. He's worked through the design and exhibition. Farhan has worked with the industrial liaison. And then we have Rashid and Musa, who worked on the networks. So without their help, this conference would not have been possible. So I thank them all. Of course, the sponsors, Dr. Shahid Saab has been gracious enough from Punjab Education Commission. We have received the sponsorship. And then we have, of course, our guests here from industry and from academia, especially the guests who have traveled here, invited speakers from different parts of the country. So the program is hybrid. We have national speakers who are joining us here in person, and then international speakers are going to be giving talks online. So with these few words, I'd like to thank you all and wish that the conference is going to be a great success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Waqar, for an explicit overview of KICS and the conference, of course. So quickly moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special message from the Gambia, Dr. Mamba Hydra. He is Islamic Development. Dr. Mamba Hydra, as you can see, he is an Islamic Development Bank partner, and he's associated with University of the Gambia. Let's take a listen to him.
Thank you very much. I am Dr. Mamba Hydra, speaking all the way from the Gambia, the University of the Gambia, the Dean of School of ICT. I'm glad to give a big sort of video regarding our collaboration, the School of ICT, the University of the Gambia, and KICS Unity in Pakistan and Lahore, Pakistan. We really had a very successful collaboration for getting close to 8 months now under the Islamic Development Bank Technical Cooperation Program. And since the inception of this project, it has been a very successful, fruitful relationship between the two institutions. This ranges from the development of setting up computer science, a master's curriculum for the School of Information Communication Technology at the Gambia. And it also includes the design of the campus, the new university campus, University of the Gambia campus, that is under construction, almost done. We are hoping to move very soon. In my experience with the team, we are quite grateful to be part of that training program, simply because it has been an area that is of interest to our university or our school that much. And the training was quite impressive, content in terms of facilities that were at our disposal. We had a very good interaction with the colleagues that we found, the professors, that gave us the instructions during the course of the period. And the most amazing thing is the facilities that we were at our disposal. The hands-on particles, yes, we had it. We also had a very connected for the research facilities that are available. And these are quite interesting, and we learned a lot, and it was a good experience. And we continue to look into those areas as well. And in totality, our collaboration with KICS has been very interesting. And it was a very brief project, 6 months duration, but highly successful. Once again, we thank everyone out there, and we wish the conference to be of great success. That is the 16th IEEE National Conference on Social Systems. This is important, and we want to thank you very much for the collaboration and experience we have out there in Lahore. On that note, I want to extend since we have my Vice Chancellor, we extend our heartfelt gratitude and thanks to the management of UAC and the KICS Director General of the team, and the Director of KICS and the team. And also finally to Islamic Development Bank for being the catalyst behind all this success. Once again, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I hope to engage again in the near future. Thank you once again.
I'm sure Dr. Mamba would be watching us through live stream available on the ICOS portal. So hello Dr. Mamba, and thank you very much for your special message. So quickly moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, I would request Mr. Tariq Malik, CTO, Punjab Safe City Authority, to please come at the podium and say a few words. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Tariq Malik.
Thank you very much. First of all, I congratulate Dr. Vakar Sahab and his team for conducting this international workshop. I do have few slides, so I would like to discuss the use of ICT at Punjab Safe Cities Authority for your information, and then research opportunities available. Next, please. Right. Currently, we do have two setup. One is at Lahore and second is at Kasur. Currently, we are working on another setup in Nankana Sahib, and then we have approved project in Sialkot, and we do have another project. It is a mega project actually that has been approved by the PND Punjab, and now it will be presented to Federal Planning Commission for approval at ECNIC Forum. At divisional headquarters, we do have these projects, although we have not received funding, but the buildings, structure of the building is ready. Once we get funding, then we will start working on these project at divisional headquarters as well. These are services we offer. First of all, we do have emergency response system. So the 1-5 call, whether it is made from Rawalpindi, Faisalabad or any other part of Punjab, lands at Punjab Safe City Authority headquarters in Lahore. So once we receive call, then in Lahore we do have our own 4G network. It is private network, and we are 4G operator in Lahore. So all the police officers who are responders of the emergency service, they do have a wireless set which is Android based, and we pass the emergency call to nearest responder using GIS system in Lahore. We are integrated with 1122 and police, ambulance and fire brigade services. So if we get a call, for example an accident call, then not only police attends on site, but also our integrated services respond, for example ambulance in this case. And all the data is recorded in a database, including voice recording of the emergency caller, and then this information is presented to the court if required by the court as an evidence. The second is our surveillance system. Surveillance system, we do use three kind of cameras. First of all, we use facial recognition cameras. We do have around 900 facial recognition cameras installed in Lahore, and they are basically connected to proclaim offender database, ishtihari jinko hum kehte hain. So those all people are monitored against the PO database, and if PO is found by a camera, then alarm is generated and police will respond and will arrest that PO. A second kind of camera, we do have ANPR cameras, automatic number plate recognition cameras, and we do have more than 2,000 cameras installed in Lahore. They basically monitor every passing vehicle. They are capable of reading number plates of the vehicle, so we are basically populating a database of passing vehicles in Lahore. So that is very useful in case of any crime. For example, if a vehicle is involved in a crime, we simply enter vehicle registration number in our database, and we get all the movement information of that vehicle, and then we pass this information to the law enforcement agencies. Also, we use this ANPR system for e-challan. E-challan, we have embedded five traffic violations into the ANPR cameras, which are jumping red signal, moving against one way, and other minor violations. The third kind of camera which we use are IP cameras, which basically do send live streaming to our data center, and we record all the surveillance video for 1 month time. And in Qanun-e-Shahadat in 2016, an amendment was made that Qanun-e-Shahadat, now the Safe City video is an admissible evidence according to the Qanun-e-Shahadat amendment. So if any crime happens in front of camera, then that video is provided to the courts and investigation officer, and that is presented to the court as an evidence. Next, we do have a lot of other sensor controllers. For example, in Lahore, we do have altogether more than 200 traffic signals. out of which 129 signals are computerized. They are controlled through microcontroller connected at the PSC headquarters, and we can control them using AI option according to the congestion, or we can give fixed time for red or green signal. And then finally, we do have the evidence management system, because the investigation officer, they approach us if a crime happens and they believe that a video footage is helpful for a clue, direct or indirect clue. Then we have a database through which they apply online for appointment, and we provide them access to the concerned video camera. We do have more than 2,000 kilometers of our own optic fiber in Lahore, and all the cameras are connected through optic fiber. 200 kilometer fiber laid down to connect Kasur with our main data center, and 1,800 kilometer fiber is in Lahore. And then we do have 101 LTE sites in Lahore, which cover entire Lahore area. And our main data center is at Qurban Lines, and the disaster recovery site is at Kila Gujar Singh Police Lines. This is LTE sites map, which you can see from this GIS map that we cover almost all areas of Lahore, and our coverage is beyond Baria town and Raiwind. The few salient feature of our LTE network is not only we use this network for voice communication, data communication, but also we use it for the live streaming of the cameras which are installed in the mobile vehicles, mobile police vehicles. We do have more than 400 servers, more than 100 racks, 14 firewalls, and core distribution switches, data centers switches more than 100, and we do have all together more than 34 petabyte of storage. This is each alarm. I hope you may have received each alarm. So each alarm is basically used to regulate traffic in Lahore. Just few slides left. We have provided thousands of evidences to the court of law, and then through media monitoring cell we get the anti-state sentiment information, and information is passed to law enforcement agencies. Then we have a lost and found system. With the help of KICS, we have integrated it with the AI-based solution that automatically detects the missing person from the available database. And these are some statistics using our technology. We have traced so many vehicles involved in crime or stolen vehicles. And then using our database, we generate different kind of graphs, heat maps, which are helpful for decision makers. And thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was Mr. Tariq Malik. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us. In the meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, from Anas Associates, Mr. Amir Riaz is joined. Please welcome him. We have Senior Vice Chairman Pasha, Mr. Ali Ihsan is finally with us. Please welcome him with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Before I invite him at the podium, let's take a very quick look at Professor Dr. Ataur Rahman's video message. He was supposed to be with us, but unfortunately he's traveling out from the country, so he's kind enough to record his message. So let's take a listen to it.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I would like to congratulate KICS for organizing the 16th IEEE conference on a very important theme of open source systems and technologies. We live in an era where knowledge has become the key driver for socio-economic development. And in almost every field of human endeavor, we are seeing enormous and radical changes taking place, which are changing the landscape of civilization as we know it. Artificial intelligence has come in a very big way, and according to a McKinsey global report, the impact of artificial intelligence on world economies is estimated to be some $16 trillion within the next 5 years. If we, Pakistan, if we can capture even 1% of that market, that's a good $160 billion. We have seen the advent of nanotechnology, nanomaterials, which are finding applications in a range of areas, from engineering to electronics, to biotechnology, to pharmaceuticals and other areas. So these are just a few illustrations of the amazing world of discovery. Those who live in these times are left breathless by the exciting developments that are taking place. I would like to especially thank Professor Atar, who is the head of the Empowerment Institute. We've been working together on the establishment of new universities and new centers of excellence, and as a result of this team effort, we've already established a number of excellent institutions in Pakistan. So thank you, Professor Jai and other colleagues, for all these excellent efforts for which the nation is grateful. So I will end by saying here that Pakistan has got enormous potential. About 67% of our population is below the age of 30, and it is only through investments in education, in science, in technology, and in innovation and entrepreneurship can we move forward. I would like to wish the conference participants all success, and I hope that you have a very enjoyable meeting, and that it leads on to international collaborations and to sharp increases in research in areas of importance to this country. In best wishes, Assalamu alaikum, all the best.
So on behalf of KICS and Steering Committee of the conference, I would like to thank Professor Dr. Ataur Rahman for his message. He's a well-known academic. He doesn't need any introduction. He remained chairman of the Prime Minister's Task Force on Science and Technology, and he remained chairman HEC as well. So ladies and gentlemen, quickly moving further, I would humbly request Mr. Ali Ihsan to please come at the podium. He's Senior Vice Chairman Pasha. Sir, please join us at the podium. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Ali Ihsan.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I think it's very important that we talk about the state of the country and where we find ourselves and what role can we play, right? Because we're not politicians, we're not people controlling the government. We are fundamentally technologists. And the role that technologists play is the role that the others can't, right? We have to solve the economic problem when the economists can't. Pasha's role in this ecosystem is that we are both the public face and the advocate and the government advocate for what is required to make these changes happen. And I'm a very frank individual, so some of these conversations have to be had in a very open manner simply because of where we find ourselves today. So technology is the only solution left. We have moved to a place where IT exports are the #2 export in the entire country. And it is the only industry which has the capacity to grow 5-fold, 10-fold even from there. Without the smart utilization of our technology resources, which are the universities, the students, the industry collaborations, we're not going to get there. And something that Dr. Atta hinted at is that we have to work in spaces where a lot of work has not been done. So open source technologies allows us to operate literally across the spectrum in any new tech which doesn't yet have established players. You look at ChatGPT these days, and I'm sure a lot of us are doing experiments on what kind of economic potential it has. You look at Midjourney, which is doing the same thing but now for art. You look at blockchain technology, which due to its very nature has to be open source. Like, when you write a smart contract, because it has to be audited, because people have to understand how they're going to use it, all of it is open source. So the idea is that the technology companies that come out of this domain, and they can be student-led companies, research-led companies, which provide a product to the market in a space which is a very nascent space. This can lead to the impossible $10 million, $100 million company almost in a year's period of time, right? Open source technology is at the heart of how humanity can come forward, right? Like, I have a very strong opinion on this, and I sometimes get in trouble for this, that I feel that the mercantile and commercial interests on technology are going to hold all of us back. Ultimately, this is not about whether Ukraine wins the war or whether Russia wins the war, whether the US establishes its hegemony. It's about whether humanity can go to space and beyond, whether we can colonize our little mohalla in the galaxy, right? And that has to come from collaboration across all spectrums in which technology is being openly shared, and that openly shared technology everybody is allowed to democratically contribute. So I feel Pakistan has great potential in this space. It's a very youth-centric bulge. There are lots of universities which are making an effort, but I feel that since everybody is so happy to talk about the positive side of the spectrum, I'd like to also talk about the challenges we face when we try and do these things. Our education sector is woefully underfunded, right? We're sitting at a 65% youth bulge, and the amount of budget that is allocated to educational institutions is not going to get us to a knowledge economy. Because the fundamentals of a knowledge economy are that we have enough knowledgeable people. Right now, even if you look at the university spectrum, and I know that the universities come under a lot of heat from the industry in that they're not producing talent which is 100% acceptable at an industry standard. I often talk about the problem even before that. Are the K-12 systems of high school and secondary and primary school even feeding us the kind of talent that we need to groom into the engineers and scientists of tomorrow? So on a public forum, it is important to talk about these things, that yes, technically speaking, with today's nature of technology, with things like Udemy, Coursera, Khan Academy out there, you can probably even be an extremely talented high schooler and do an associate degree, which is now an option via the HEC, and join the technology revolution in 2 years. But a lot of investment needs to be made into this sector if the knowledge economy dream is going to come true. And then the research gap on the university level needs to be closing rapidly, right? Like we're currently putting together, on Pasha's end, we're trying to help make the system more standardized. This year we have committed to the HEC that we're going to be building what's called the Pasha Foundations portal. This will, it'll do a couple of things, and I think the academics amongst you will enjoy the kind of forward thinking we're bringing to the process. All university students will find a centralized platform for the 1,000+ IT companies to provide internship opportunities. And those internship opportunities will then be directly available and be merit-based. So everybody can apply for internships on a consolidated platform, and we will link up with all of the universities. At the same time, job placements, a national CV bank, so that all students can be present in one place, so we can remove what I call the advantage of the larger companies, that they're able to do more interviews, that they're able to screen better. There are talks about introducing a national ICT test for graduate students, like for students who've graduated, not to add yet one more qualification standard on top of what the academia does, but to allow companies to easily judge on a level playing field, that this student from FAST, UET and LUMS is brilliant, but so is this student from Baharuddin Zakaria University or IUB, so that we have an easier time finding jobs and placements for these people. So all of this is only really going to be possible with a very new paradigm mindset. Okay? We let go of the past and we move forward with this approach that we have to embrace the technology options and future available to us, because right now, as I'm sure most of you realize, Pakistan is in fight or flight mode. We have to win at this point. The ground has been ceded. There is no margins for error left any longer. And I think we can do it. I always believe we are a very resilient nation, and people that I've worked with have convinced me that we have some of the smartest minds in the world available to us, right? The more we work with international clients, like myself, I belong to the video games and animation space, right? I run one of Pakistan's largest game studios called Frag Games. And one of the things that we constantly see is that Pakistanis underestimate themselves. With X years of experience, when we go out and competitively bid for projects or make games in collaborations with international studios, we're often pulling heavier weight than they are. And I think that's a very important thing for the students and the researchers amongst us to understand. I'm going to switch languages for a second, right? हम किसी से कम नहीं हैं, ठीक है? मगर दिस कम्स विद द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कि फिर लोगों को दिखाना भी होता है कि हम किस काबिलियत के काबिल हैं. So I wish everybody the best. I'm very, very honored that I sit among such esteemed guests at this gathering, and I hope to learn a lot from everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ali Hassan, for getting us pumped as a proud Pakistanis and speaking your heart out. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. So quickly moving forward, we have a message from Chairman Higher Education Commission, Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed. So let's take a listen.
Assalamualaikum. Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed from Higher Education Commission. I'm very happy to know that Al-Fatmi Institute of Computer Science in UT Lahore, they are organizing the IEEE conference on open source resources. And this is a very important topic, I think, you take, especially nowadays when the things are opening up and even in the world. Universities, they are breaking their walls, they are breaking those curriculum so that people should share resources with each other, people should learn from each other. So this is the right time we should also focus on this area also. And HEC from the beginning is supporting this open source resources because that will enable our youth and our institution and our researchers to utilize those opportunities and focus on their work and utilize those sources so that they don't need to buy every time a new software from the market, and a lot of course resources are also required for that. So I think this is the time we need to focus and let's see how can we make it more useful and how can we use this platform to come up with new resources, especially in those new fields which are in the emerging market, especially in technology like artificial intelligence, cloud computing, big data kind of things, and of course this blockchain technologies. So we need more and more resources, open source resources for our youth, so that they should also utilize those resources for their creative minds to create those innovative ideas for the society, and ultimately the humanities, they should get benefit of these. I want to congratulate the leadership of the UT Lahore, and of course the organizing committee of this conference, and also the Al-Fatmi Institute of Computer Science, that they are doing this wonderful job. Keep it up, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck to you all, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Pakistan Zindabad.
So ख़ातिन हज़रात, अब जिस शख्सियत को मैं रोस्टम पे दावत देने जा रहा हूँ, इससे पहले कि मैं उन्हें बुलाऊँ, आप ज़रा अपनी मौजूदगी का एहसास दिला दीजिए. ज़रा ह्यूज राउंड ऑफ बिग राउंड ऑफ अपलॉज फ्रॉम योर साइड. अगर भरपूर तालियाँ हो जाएं एक दफ़ा. अमूमन ये होता है कि जो सीनियर्स होते हैं वो ताली बजाते हुए ज़रा सोचते हैं या वक्त लेते हैं. जो पीछे लोग बैठे हुए होते हैं वो क्विकली ताली बजा देते हैं, लेकिन यहाँ पे इसके बरक्स हो रहा है. तो पीछे जो यंगस्टर्स बैठे हुए हैं, इफ़ यू कुड जस्ट पुट योर हैंड्स टुगेदर, राउंड ऑफ अपलॉज, अ बिग राउंड ऑफ अपलॉज, ह्यूज राउंड ऑफ अपलॉज फ्रॉम योर साइड. अब पता चले यूटियंस अपने मेहमानों का इस्तकबाल कैसे किया करता है. वैसे तो लड़कियाँ लगन से काम करती हैं, मेहनत से काम करती हैं, कुव्वत से काम करती हैं, लेकिन तालियां बजाते हुए मतलब आई रियली एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम यू, अगर आप एक बार हो जाए तालियां सब मिलके बजा दें तो. ख़ातिन व हज़रात, जिस शख्सियत को मैं यहाँ बुलाने जा रहा हूँ, उनके बारे में क्या कहें. नहीं मेरे तारुफ़ की ज़रूरत नज़र आ जाऊँगा, खुद रोशनी हूँ, लेकिन रस्म दुनिया भी है, मौका भी है, दस्तूर भी है. कहते हैं कि गुलाब ख्वाब दवा जहर जाम क्या क्या है, हम आ गए हैं बता इंतज़ाम क्या क्या है, और फ़कीर शाह कलंदर इमाम क्या क्या है, तुझे पता नहीं तेरा ग़ुलाम क्या क्या है. मेरा ख्याल है कि इससे पेशतर कि मैं थोड़ा सा ओपन अप करूँ. इज़ बिल गेट्स ऑफ पाकिस्तान. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Gates of Pakistan is with us. मेरा ख्याल है मैं थोड़ा सा और ओपन अप करता हूँ, क्योंकि मुझे बताया है कि उनके पास वक्त भी कम है, उन्हें जाना भी है. So, Mr. Salim Ghori, he's founder and CEO NetSol Technologies, is one of the best known figures from the Pakistan IT industry. He has been cited as the Bill Gates of Pakistan. A reference to his incredible achievements as an IT entrepreneur, founded by him in 1996, NetSol Technologies developed rapidly to become the leading software company of Pakistan and is today the only CMMI Level 5 organization in the country. भरपूर तालियां होनी चाहिए खातिन और ज़ात जब वो पोडियम पे आए. सर, प्लीज़ कम at the podium and say the words.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning. By nature, I'm a very positive person. I look at life, always things are good, things are positive. So that's how I have built my life. Over the last 26 years, I have tried to build an IT company, starting in 1996. And in between 26 years, there were so many challenges in Pakistan. People always say it's a very difficult country to work from. And I don't agree. I never agreed with that because I kept on working and building something which became global and become very successful, truly accepted by the world as a world-class software development facility in Lahore, Pakistan. It worked. Positivity worked for me. This morning when I woke up, first thing in my WhatsApp and other Facebook, the news is circulating. 750,000 Pakistanis, educated Pakistanis, left Pakistan. 750,000 Pakistanis left Pakistan. That's fine. You know what it says? Brain drain. Now that's very negative connotation of this activity. Now you can look at two ways. 750,000 Pakistanis left and they are overseas now having Pakistani flags as educated people. What's wrong with brain drain? Let them go out. So that means we have spaces for now, more 50,000 people we can train. So what you can do now? You have room for 750,000 people more to be educated. That's a great opportunity. So what I see from this news is opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. Tells you one thing, that Pakistan is the 5th largest population country in the world. Wow, what are possibilities we have got? So if we can export 750,000 people in 1 year, what about few million next year? Because we have the people. We have such a big youth waiting to get educated and be exported and work here. That's a great opportunity. That's why I keep repeating, opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. Let's avail it. Let's not call it a brain drain, but let's look at it and say, wow, we can train more people and let them go out. Well, I am example of a brain drain. I left Pakistan 45 years ago. I stayed overseas for 22 years, but one day I came back. 25 years ago, 26 years ago, I decided to come back. I had enough of overseas. Loved to be back. I missed Lahore, came back. I brought back what I worked overseas. For 22 years of my work came back with me and was able to use that to build something which works in the world. Nothing wrong with brain drain. If only 5% of these people come back in 10, 15 years, imagine what will they bring. Two things are happening. They're presenting Pakistan around the world as educated people. They bring a good name to Pakistan, and then they send the remittances back. A lot of remittances coming back to Pakistan. The number is growing, $30 billion, whatever that number is. We are getting more money back. That's great export. We talk about export, it's export. We have people, we export them. What's wrong with that? We have so many people still waiting to be exported. We just have to educate them. So let's look at this as an opportunity, and not as a negativity. Nothing wrong with it. So what do we do now? Great time for Pakistan. Great times. Pakistan has entered a revolution, digital revolution. We have missed many in the past. Many revolutions has been missed in the past. Well, let's not miss this one. Great times for Pakistan to be part of the world. We are good. I tell you what, how good we are. We at NetSol has developed a system, a financial system. It's a most of a system. It's a massive system, maintains $1 billion portfolio. China is our largest market. We have 30 largest financial institutions running their portfolios, financial portfolio on our system developed in Lahore. Most of Pakistan imports from China, we export to China. We're exporting software, the high value software to China. Each our value deal is over $10 million to China market. That's happening from Lahore, Pakistan. We are developing designing systems in Lahore by Pakistani engineers from your schools. We are smart. We are very smart people. We just have to bring us together to see how smart we are. So with that smartness, what can be done with this opportunity of digitalization? The world is opening us. We saw the export of $3 billion. This year's $2.8, $2.9 billion, $3 billion export. Very small number documented. The number is much larger today because the most people are not documenting the money they bring in as an IT export. So my number is about $5 billion. Again, a very small number. This number will multiply amazing. In the next few years, we'll see the number multiply. It's going to happen. There's no need for government to help any one of us. We are very independent of the government. We are one industry, we do not need any help at all. We've been working very independently. We never sought help. We never went them to help us. Yeah, we tell them with policies, we help them, look, change the policy, we can bring more money in, that's fine. But nevertheless, we work very independently. We don't go for any help at all. This is one industry which does not need investment. Look at any other industry, textile. You know, to put a textile industry, how much money you need, how many years you require, how many $100 million you have to put into put a brand new smart factory. Any other industry, you need hundreds of millions of dollars. This is one industry does not need money at all. We have kids staying at home, 2 or 3 people put together as a unit, and they are exporting. You'll be surprised. I know 3 kids in Bahawalpur, how much they're exporting. I know 5 kids in Sakhar, how much they're exporting. You have no idea what people are doing at their homes. There's no investment needed. These are kids with their machines and laptops working home. We have the, I think, 3rd or 4th largest e-lancing population in the world today. These kids, girls and boys working from home. That's a massive opportunity there. What do we need to do now? What we need to do is look at what we are producing. Well, we're producing about 25,000 engineers, graduates, not enough. Not enough at all, especially when we are exporting people. China, India, they're producing thousands of people. That's why they're capturing the business. It's all about people, educated people. Higher education, sir, may I say, just like to address you, sir. We have to focus on a 4-year degree. A 4-year degree, you know how much it costs for a kid to take that degree? How many kids can afford that degree? How many kids can afford that 4-year time and the money? Not many. So why the youth is on the street? Because they control. So what's wrong? Especially, I've got 2,000 people working for me, and 1,300 of them are engineers. You know how we use them? We use them only as a coder. We don't use them as an engineer because engineers are few only who design systems. The rest are only coders. They have 4 degrees, time spent, but I use them as a coder only. So what can I do with that? Well, I can produce coders, special coders for my job. Thousands of them can be produced. Even non-ITs can be converted to coders. This is what we're doing at home. And that's why we started that campaign now. We're looking at kids with A-levels, maths, engineering degrees. We bring them in and putting them special skills to code only. I don't need engineers because engineers have a different job to do. They design. I have those many. I'll help you. But more the people I need are coders. We need so many of them. The world needs so many of them. The other day, talking to an engineer, Pakistani guy, who's very successful in the USA. He sold his company for $600 million. He was in Lahore 2 days back, and I would talk to him, what can we do? Well, he said, produce more engineers. And engineers doesn't mean a 4-year degree, mean specialized people. Just focus on special skill. UAT, University of Engineering and Technology, is the key hub here. Can we really now, besides 4-year degrees, do more stuff we're talking about? What can we do to produce more and more people with special skills? Doesn't need to go for such a long session of degree because we cannot afford to do that. In the next 3-4 years, if we can produce 100,000 more people, I can tell you what, we can change Pakistan completely. Pakistan will be a different country. We are considered a smart country. We can do that. We have the possibility. We are recognized today in the world as IT country now. It's easy for me to sell now. 30 years, 25 years ago when I used to sell Pakistan, nobody will buy. Nobody will talk to me. So I have to base myself in Dubai or Bangkok to say I'm coming from there. Not anymore. Now I'm very proudly tell I'm coming from Pakistan. I'm very proudly telling we made in Pakistan. We do that. That wasn't the case. So we are there. We are recognized. We are accepted. We are an IT country. Now is the time to take a leap. Produce more engineers. Don't worry about jobs. Jobs are there. What's happening to the people who don't get jobs? Because they don't have skills. They get the degrees, but no skills. So we have to focus on their skills. Please don't give them a piece of paper only. Please give them skills. I beg of you to give them skills. Skills will get them jobs. They will be self-employed. They don't need jobs. They'll be entrepreneurs, like me. I'm an entrepreneur. I started with no money at all in my pocket. Today we run a $100 million revenue company, from nothing to everything at all. So please do not just focus on a piece of paper. Sir, you requested, beg you, all of you here, focus on skills. When your kids leave, when your students leave this UET, they must have skills in their hand. They must have something they can use to sell to the world. World will buy them. World is waiting for the people. We need thousands more. I can keep going on because I get very passionate when I talk about Pakistan and possibilities. But again, let me close my sentiment. Opportunity is there. We just have to take it. We are taking it, but we need more and more people with skills. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir, for being with us. We're really honored to have you with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, quickly moving forward. अब मैं जिस शख्सियत को रोस्टर पर बुलाने जा रहा हूँ, being a chemical engineer and coal gasification as a research area of mine, makes me his die-hard fan. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Chairman Punjab Higher Education Commission, Professor Dr. Shahid Munir with us. A round of applause for Dr. Shahid Munir, ladies and gentlemen.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Sadaqallahu al-azim. Honorable Professor Dr. Waqar Mahmood Sahab, Janab Honorable Ali Ehsan Sahab, Janab Honorable Muhammad Salim Qori Sahab, Janab Honorable Tariq Malik Sahab, distinguished faculty members, professors, deans, researchers, students, Assalamu alaikum. We all know that we are living in an era of knowledge-based economy, and in the future 10 years, there will be a knowledge explosion. The knowledge that had been created since the creation of this world is going to increase by many folds. And I have read few reports of the World Economic Forum, at least 3 reports they have published recently. And they have depicted 3 scenarios for the world, that how the world would be in 2050. And all these 3 scenarios agree that in 2050, the world will be totally digital. It will be a digital society, and there will be about 7 trillion new jobs in the market until 2030. And all these jobs are related to artificial intelligence, robotics, data sciences, gaming, animations, machine learning, cybersecurity, etc. So you are very lucky enough that you have chosen a field that is the field of future. So these are the future technologies for which we have gathered here. So I congratulate Dr. Waqar Mahmood and his team for organizing the 16th IEEE International Conference on Open Source Systems and Technologies. After reading these reports, I gathered all the Vice Chancellors of the Punjab in Murray for a 3 days hackathon conference. And we tried to sensitize them that what would be the share of our graduates in the future job market. As very rightly Mr. Gauri has pointed out, that there is no brain drain. In fact, we should prepare our graduates for the international market as well, like the Indian Institute of Technologies are doing, that they are exporting many IT experts. If you look at the Indian IT exports, it is 115 billion US dollars compared to 85 billion US dollars of the oil exports of the Saudi Arabia. So this is the power of technology that we should look at. So the crux of the conference has been that we need to update our curricula, and we need to include the industrial professionals into the board of studies. into the board of faculty and academic council of our universities. And we should hold the thesis fairs in our universities so that the Chamber of Commerce people, they can come into the universities and give the thesis topics to the students. So there is a need to change a paradigm shift from theoretical research to applied research. So there is a dire need to develop the products in the universities, and the emphasis should be given on the patents. If you look at the patents in the previous year in USA, more than 500,000 patents have been registered in 1 year, whereas in China, 350,000 patents have been registered. And in India, 58,000 patents were registered, whereas in Pakistan, only 353 patents were registered. So this tells us the story of the Pakistani R&D organizations and the universities. The biggest challenge of the future is the development and the production of skillful and employable youth. So if we want to produce the skillful and employable youth, we need to update our curricula. We need to recruit the teachers and the faculty that have the industrial experience. We need to introduce the professor of practice in the universities. We need to put this research that is being carried out in the universities on the web portal of the Chamber of Commerce. So we need to strengthen the university industrial linkages, and the postdoctorate that we send the professors abroad, and they are doing the research on the topics of the foreign countries. We need to develop the indigenous PhD scholarships by including one of the industrial professionals and one of the professor here on indigenous issues. So these are some of the issues that needs to be focused. We have established 7 consortiums at the end of the Vice Chancellor's conference. One of them was based on the IT and the software technologies as well. Another issue on which the Punjab Higher Education Commission is stressing that we have launched the trainings for the directors of the organization of the research, innovation and commercialization, so that the people who are heading the ORIC offices, they can market the research that is being carried out in the universities properly. And now, during the last week, we conducted a training on the entrepreneurship, because no government and the private organizations can offer the 100% employment to the youth of Pakistan. As the Dr. Atal said, that 67% of the people in Pakistan are below the 30 years of age. So that is a great talent. So the entrepreneurship, if you look at the MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the graduates of the MIT, they have established 400 companies, and the revenue they are generating are the $300 billion US. And we are the 220 million people, and their export earnings are only $32 million. If you look at another example by our computer science graduates, they have established a company a few years ago, the Kareem. So when they sold it, the worth of the company was $3.1 billion US. So there is a huge potential for Pakistan. The total global revenue in the open source services market is expected to grow into $30 billion US industry by this year. So this is a huge volume that can be created. So in the knowledge-based economy, the biggest share of the IT technology is there. So we need to establish the artificial intelligence center of excellence in the artificial intelligence, center of excellence in the industrial robotics, and the super intelligent robots and the data sciences. So far, we do not have the center of excellences in the different universities. I think the University of Engineering and Technology should think in this direction as well. So according to the Gartner, spending on public cloud services worldwide will grow by 23% this year, and it will reach to $332 billion US. GitHub, the repository hosting service, found a year-on-year growth of 40% in open source project creation between April 19 and April 22. Out of those surveyed, 85% of the enterprises already used open source in their organization, and more than 90% of the developers believe open source will be an important part of their business post-pandemic. In 2022 State of Open Source report, Open Logic found that 77% of the organizations were more dependent on open source software than they were 12 months ago, while Red Hat's 2022 State of Enterprise Open Source report found 80% of companies expect to increase their use of enterprise this software for emerging technologies. Microsoft recently called open source software the industry accepted model for cross-company collaboration. Experts believe that open source is likely the future for the continued improved innovations. One of the biggest concerns around the open source is security. To overcome this barrier, tech giants such as Microsoft, Google, and IBM have launched the Open Source Security Foundation, hosted by Linux Foundation, to implement initiatives and protocols that will improve security in the industry. In accordance with the rise in adoption of cloud and open source, a combination of investment, expertise, and demand will push open source and cloud technologies in an exciting direction. So it is a proven fact that the open source systems and technology, they are going to snatch more share from the knowledge-based economy or and the IT industry. So I once again very much thankful for the organizers to invite me, and I congratulate the organizers for holding the 16th conference. And we are partner in this conference, and we will continue to patronize the UET Vice Chancellor, Dr. Waqar Mahmood, and all the team for hosting the workshops. I hope in this conference the 16th or the 18th research paper will be presented, and then there is an exhibition as well. So you can develop the research groups, and by the in the next conference in the next year, or you will be in a better position to present the papers and your research and your experiences, and this will add a value into your intellect to develop the new innovations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shahid Munir. It's an honor for us to have you here as a chief guest. So, ladies and gentlemen, moving forward, I would request the dignitaries, if you could please gather right in front of the stage for the presentation of souvenirs. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for all the dignitaries. Volunteers, if you could please come at the souvenirs table. So first, I would humbly request Mr. Amir Riaz from ANS Associates Private Limited to please move forward and receive your souvenir. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Amir Riaz is our business partner. Next, I would request Mr. Mohammed Ahmed. He is Chief Signal and Telecommunication Engineer, Pakistan Railways. Please move forward and receive your souvenir as guest of honor. Then I would request Mr. Tariq Malik, Chief Technical Officer, Punjab Safe City Authority. Mr. Ali Ehsan, Senior Vice Chairman, Pasha. Senior Vice Chairman, Pasha, Mr. Ali Ehsan. He's CEO of Frag Games, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause for him. Then I would request Mr. Salim Qari, CEO, NetSol Technologies, Pakistan. We have a souvenir for Dr. Waqar as well. So I think let's move on to the chief guest. So I would request Professor Dr. Waqar to present a souvenir to the chief guest, Professor Dr. Shahid Munir, Chairman, Punjab Higher Education Commission. So we have planned a group photo right in front of the main auditorium complex, where we have an exhibition arena. So I would request all the dignitaries to please move forward to the main auditorium complex so that we can open up the exhibition. So all the participants can witness the exhibition in main auditorium complex. We have Shazib Rathore Saab. All the participants. So
ये बंद हो गया यार, ये बंद हो गया भाई.
Hello. बंद हो गया. Hello.